Hey, fellow traders, what's going on? Welcome to the Wolf Den. I'm your host, The Wolf, and welcome to Trade Recaps. We're making another episode. Actually, I don't think we've had a break since we started this. Every single trade, making the recaps every single day. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to take you along with us on this journey. So today, we had a good day. We had a couple things firing off on the pre-market scanner. BPMX. We also took down OXBR, a little late day fade, and MLNT, adding to the frontside long short position. We'll go over that in a second. So let's just go ahead and take a look at BPMX over here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. As you can see, first, this trade started off in the filings. So we had a little bit of volume coming in. As you can see, this thing pushed pre-market from like sub $1, and we hit the filings up like we do every single morning in the Wolf Den trading room. And notice that they have, let me go ahead and pull the facts up. They have an S3 dated 5/16/19. Now in that S3 we pulled the float, which is 10.4 million shares by non-affiliates. We know the market value per publicly held shares, and we know how much they've already raised off of that 1/3 MVPHS allowance. Now I know that's a mouthful, but if you're not understanding what that is, hop over to Wolf Trading. Join up in the room. We go over fundamentals every morning, and we can explain this stuff. This is an IB6 restriction, but it's really simple once you get some reps in. Okay, so back over to executions. We noticed that this is an $8.5 million ATM. They have an underwriter in on this, and they have about $1 million on the books as of Q1, which is April 1st, 2019. So the date of this filing, the stock was trading around $1.30, some give or take. So I figured that's where they started to hit. This. So based off of the low float, these guys aren't really trying to max out the outstanding share allowance by trying to go super high on this. These guys are just trying to get their money. So I noticed that we have a $1.50 resistance right here. I think we kind of peaked at 154, something like that. And now we come down, and the tape is just heavy. It's just, the thing just doesn't want to pop past 150. So I jump in here against high a day, and I add. Now I was pretty sized in at this point. I did not want to go super heavy on this. I had another thesis if we were going to get up to, actually let's hop over onto the Jumbotron. So as you can see, here's the 3-year chart. Let's just go ahead and zoom in. I'll show you guys my thesis. As you can see right here, we had a 1 for 25 reverse split on 425. So that tells me what time it is right now. We already know what these guys are up to over at biopharmacscorporation.com. We know what you guys are up to. So now look at the volume. Again, we're harping on the volume. The volume for today is 17.7 million shares. Now, that number doesn't really mean much to me. I want to know how relative is that volume to the 90-day average. And the relative volume, it's trading at 31 times its normal average volume on the last 90 days, okay? So jumping back over, now this is a real simple trade. I just got in at like a 150 average, 148 I think it was, and I just start taking profit. Now, if you see these like dark pool prints or market maker manipulation, these things have really been starting to become more and more popular. And as I said, I forget the name of the trade. It was a couple weeks ago, but they orchestrated these wicks, and then it ended up forming an MLNT, and it ended up, I want to show you guys this, and it ended up being a manipulation wedge on the front side move. Now this wasn't going to be part of the episode, but let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Let's go 5-day, 5-minute. Now, if you look on the front side of this move, day one, these wicks aren't going to show up on Thinkorswim, but there's some wicks down here, right here in pre-market. These 339 wicks formed the beginning of this support line, and then it ended up making a nice little wedge, blah, blah, blah. But watch out for these for these dark pool prints. These market makers think they're getting slick. This is just my thesis on what it is, but It is what it is. Just keep an eye out for those. And here we go. Look, we start to base right at the bottom of these wicks at 125. So I take a little profit down at the 80, 89. And I'm not big on adding this. I just want to let this fade off. It is what it is. I already got my orders in, and I set these targets out, 112 and $1, and I just let it run its course. Now I was thinking this was actually my final target, and then I thought that there's going to be a lot of dilution on the tape, so I split this target in half and tailed off at $1, and ended up trading 85, 86 cents. So you guys who caught this one, good job. I mean, there was plenty of liquidity on this. You guys could have sized in big. I took some small, actually executions are up here. I took small size on it, but it's a winner, and we'll take it. Now let's go next trade, OXBR. Now OXBR was an SSR play, and this thing was a little tricky, right? I got stopped out high a day. That hurt. That was a little bit of pain. Let me go ahead and show you guys my thesis. Hop over to the Jumbotron. This thing is massive. OXBR. So let's pull up the higher time frame chart. I personally like the 3-year 1-day chart because it lets me know what time it is, and I can get a real good view. After you see enough of these charts, you just know exactly what's going on. So here's a 3-year chart. Doesn't even look like, yeah, it does go all the way back 3 years. So I don't see any reverse splits. I see that this stock is trading at $7. Not too bad, right? This thing's not trading at $500 with 3 reverse splits in the last 3 years. So I'm going to pay a little bit more respect to this consolidation down here. I mean, this is a legit chart in my opinion. Now, first thing I notice, this thing likes to give back its gains. Look at this wick. We're wicking. This is a beautiful thing. This is the conviction that I need. Now I'm looking up here, $3. This thing likes to wick at $3. Now the second thing I want to look at is the volume. This is the volume profile. This is the higher time frame volume profile. Now when I started looking at this chart, we're trading in the morning. We're trading $1.40, $1.50. It hits my radar. This is all these levels are marked. You guys are using your volume profiles, mark your levels, but this volume consolidation right here was already marked. So if I'm going to attack this, if I want to be real aggressive, I'm going to hit it right here at 183. Now if I want to be more conservative, I'm going to hit it up here at 240. Okay, now these are where I get my levels, and I also have levels here at 210 and 220. Now just so you know, now we're going to flip back over. All right, thank you. Excuse me. So what do? We get up to 180 right here, and I hit it. Now I have a hard stop. I scaled in a little bit too big. Obviously, I got excited. This is a little bit too aggressive, right? This is an aggressive attempt. Now I got some slippage on the hard stop, but I did protect myself and stopped out. Now let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit as I do start to get a little bit more heavy on the executions. Okay, so now I saw this wick right here, and my plan after this 180 stop, as I showed you guys from the Jumbotron, is I want to hit this level at the top of this distribution at 240. All right, so here's 240 right here, 240. Now I get a little bit itchy on the order flow. I see this wick. I get a little emotional, especially coming off this loss. Not too bad, but I do see an opportunity to scalp the tape. And then I take the position off. I have a feeler and a small add into confirmation. I mean, this is pretty good. I'm happy with this level of skill on these two top ticks. I mean, that's what I want to do. Now I take it off and we come back up. And what do? I feel like if I don't get in again at 220, I'm going to miss the trade. And I get back in, same size as here, and we push. Now this push was extremely fast. I had two, I don't know if you guys heard, but I've been working on layered stops. So I took 75% of the position and had an initial stop at 227, and then at high a day, which was right here at 229 at this point. So I probably set it at 230 or 231, and then I put the remainder 25% on that layered stop above at like 240. Or 235 actually, and they both got triggered with slippage. And what happened is if this trade didn't pan out, now I'm getting real aggressive on the orders. I already have, now remember my main thesis was a 240 thesis. So I have orders already out at 240 if I get stopped out. And there was just so much slippage on these orders that it kind of all happened at once. And we get popped, I slip, stop out, and then my secondary 240 thesis sizing and scaling executions come in. Now that might be a lot, especially for some of your newer traders or for some of you guys who are more experienced than me. You're probably thinking, hey Wolf, that's not how you do it, man. This is how you do it. If that's the case, send me a message, man. Let me know how I can get better. That's the whole point of these, is to help people who need help and to hopefully run into some people and some great traders who just want to get better every single day. So here we go. Now I'm sized into a 240 thesis, and I'm just watching the tape. Now I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with my ads because I got stopped out once and twice. So, excuse me. So I'm already stopped out twice. I'm being more conservative, and I don't take profit here. Now I do put out a limit order. I think at 229, 230 I get grabbed, or I forget if I market it in. But either way, that's a top tick ad. Now we're coming down, and I'm going to trim at VWAP. Bottom tick cover, I think I take half of it off and I recycle it back, projecting a lower high. Now this is my front side strategy. I take profit early and I stop out fairly early. This one was a high a day cut, which is fine because I'm working that 240 thesis, and these guys were good. OBRX, they popped up, they ate all the short stops, and they come back down. Now this one hurt because I was sized in pretty good. This one put me in a little bit of pain, and I shook it off. Let's see, I'm feeling the pain at 10:59, 11:01. I'm ready to go. Shaking it off, ice cold, back to our system. Now, just because that happened, I'm going to continue to trade this as if I was in the money, or if I'm down in the money, or if I got my house mortgaged, or if I just won the lottery. It doesn't matter. We trade our systems repetitious. We're just an operator of our system. So now, like I said, it doesn't matter. The past is the past. Run that system, get the law of averages, and understand your system until it just becomes boring. So I missed the ad here. We come down. I get a little bit of an entry here. Now this is kind of chasey, but I did see massive soaking at 228. There was just some massive soaking right here. Like I said, I mean, you can hear it in my voice, man. This guy was just loading up, and I jumped in right there at support. This is 220 support, in my opinion. You can see this right here, support, 223, 225, but order flow conviction, baby. I hit it, and I was correct. We flushed down hard. Now, I didn't take profit. I had big starry eyes in this one, and I wanted to take this one down. So no profit. Now we come up, and this one kind of slowed down a little bit. This trade was a little bit slower than what we're used to. It wasn't an emotional play. As you can see, this thing, SSR, got heavy on its own. So I added back. I didn't recycle. I added more size into the trade. Now I'm watching the tape. This is kind of a boring read. Level 2, order flow. And I'm just sitting there watching it. That's where we are. We're at work, right? We're in the office. We're time to get work done, right, baby? We're getting work. I come up with the objective that I think at this particular moment in time, buyers are in control. So all of this work right here pays off. My spidey senses are saying something's going on here. Let's trim the position. So I take half of the position off from a 230 average. I forget. No, I stopped out full. So my average is right here, 226, 227. I take half of it off. Now I'm scaling back in. Now I have conviction that we're on the backside right now. I have another ad back at this 225, 230 line up here, and I have one more right at 240. But that's my largest ad, with the stop being 2 or 3 cents right behind it to give me the best average and the best risk reward off of my stop. And then from that point forward, it's just all downhill, really. And I took a little bit of pride in these targets, especially for being in the red on the front. I didn't take profit early and try to recoup those losses. And if I would have actually enhanced the losses. So This is just a perfect demonstration of patience, right? I think Warren Buffett said that the markets are a medium to take money away from the impatient and give it to the patient, something like that. So this is me just being patient, hitting my targets, and I'm kind of proud on this unwind right here. Now this one right here was also nice. This was out of the ordinary. I did notice, now as this thing's just kind of cruising super slow, I'm doing research on it. I noticed that 160 was the largest volume consolidation on the higher time frame chart, and that's what caused me to trim right here. We did push a little bit, and then this thing just popped back down, got stuffed basically off this 72.89 right here. 138 was my final target all out, and this is how you turn a red trade into a green trade. The entry on this trade, if I did not notice the soaking of the offer at 228, I would have not have sized in here, and who knows, that would have threw off the whole trade. So conviction from the order flow is paying the bills today, baby. All right, with that, the last trade is MLNT. Now MLNT, it's a day 2 push off a dead cat bounce. Let me say that again. Dead cat bounce at day 2. This thing's kind of grindy. I think this thing's just going to fade. Come on, baby. So if you remember my trader takeaway yesterday, I'm sizing in here under 6, way under 6. I did scalp it a little bit. I'm playing some front side on this. Now, I raised my average. My average is 570. So I'm behind on this, I'm basically adding to a loser on this. My conviction is strong, though. And it is what it is. I paid attention to the resistance. The resistance on this trade is at 650, in my opinion. So here we are at 650. And look where the volume is sitting. There's a decent amount of volume. I don't have the volume profile up, but 650, there's some volume up top. Now we've been grinding up on this thing all day. $6 was I thought that was going to be resistance. This is my last attempt on this. I'm going to cut this entire position at in the 660s. There's no way I'm letting this thing go above 679. So I'm going to cut this if we get any more of a push, but here's my targets. I'm sized in pretty legit. I'm full size right now. Here's my targets. This could be a big payout for me. All right, so with that said, since we're talking about fundamental analysis today, let's go ahead and roll over to the fundamental analysis room in the Wolf Trading Discord room. It's an open enrollment room. We'd love to have you guys with us. We're excited. We have a couple new guys join in yesterday. We just had a guy join a couple minutes ago. We're excited, baby. Here's the warrants on PHUN. Take a look. Important stuff right here. The amount of shares and the execution price. Here's a quick my float calculation on the fly. And here's an example of a company using an ASR, an S3 ASR in relation to the 424s. Excuse me. All right, so last thing, let's take a look at the runner's room, because that's what's going to be on main watch tomorrow. So in the runner's room, we have BPMX, right? Super major fade dilution. This thing's game over. VISL, nice little pop. Decent volume on this one, relatively speaking. OXBR, this is the wedge play that we played today, right? Catching targets all the way down on this one. PHUN, let's see if this is in play tomorrow. This is on main watch for the morning. Riot. Now we had some Bitcoin buzz, Riot, Mara, DPW, the basket of stocks, BTC, stuff like that. That's on side watch. I don't really like trading this stuff too much. I still remember when the MSNBC cameras were following this guy around. Just garbage, man. Riot blockchain. And then MLNT. We're going to wake up tomorrow and this thing's going to be trading at $4. All right, guys. Really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for hanging out, and study hard tonight, and let's just continue to get 1% better every single day, baby. All right, guys, take care.